Some of these animals can outthink a child, ranked from clever to genius, and number one might be smarter than you'd like. Today, we're ranking the smartest animals on Earth, measured by problem solving, memory, tool use, and self-awareness. The gap between number 10 and number 1 on this list is genuinely mind-bending. Stick with me to the end, because the top spot rewires how you think about intelligence. We rank these on real cognitive science, tool use, mirror tests, language studies, and problem-solving experiments. Let's start at the bottom. Kicking things off at number 10, we have the humble pigeon. And yes, that pigeon in the park. Pigeons can recognize themselves in mirrors, identify individual human faces, and even sort photos into categories. Lab studies have shown they can distinguish paintings by Monet from paintings by Picasso. That's not luck. That's a bird processing visual patterns most people couldn't articulate. They also navigate hundreds of miles home using magnetic fields, landmarks, and the sun. That's a lot of processing power packed into a bird you probably underestimated this morning. But the next one uses actual tools in the wild, and that changes everything. At number 9, we have the New Caledonian crow, and this bird is a certified problem solver. These crows craft hooked twigs to fish grubs out of tree bark, shaping tools with a specific goal in mind. Wild birds using bent tools was once considered impossible. In lab tests, they've solved 8-step puzzles they've never seen before in the correct order on the first attempt. That's planning, not instinct. One famous crow, named Betty, bent a straight wire into a hook to retrieve food she couldn't reach otherwise. She invented a tool on the spot. Crows also hold grudges, remembering human faces that wronged them for years, and even teaching their offspring who to avoid. That's memory, teaching, and revenge, a surprisingly human combination. Number 8 belongs to the African gray parrot, a bird that doesn't just mimic, but understands. The most famous example, Alex, learned over 100 words and could identify colors, shapes, and quantities correctly. He wasn't parroting, he was answering. Alex could look at a tray of objects and correctly say how many were blue or which shape was different from the others. That's abstract reasoning in a bird brain. Researchers estimate African grays have the cognitive ability of a 4 to 5-year-old child with the emotional depth of a toddler. They form deep bonds and get bored. They've even shown early signs of understanding the concept of zero, something human children don't grasp until around age 4. A bird understanding nothingness is philosophically weirder than it sounds. At number 7, we have the humble rat, and forget everything you thought about them. Rats can learn their names, navigate complex mazes from memory, and solve puzzles for pure curiosity, even when there's no food reward. They enjoy thinking. They've been trained to detect landmines and diagnose tuberculosis by scent, outperforming machines in some cases. That's applied intelligence saving human lives. Studies show rats exhibit empathy, freeing trapped cage mates before eating available treats, even when those cage mates are strangers. They choose kindness over food. They also laugh when tickled, a high-frequency chirp scientists have recorded and mapped to positive emotion. A laughing, empathetic problem solver is not the animal most people picture, but the next one on our list is on a completely different level of self-awareness. Number 6 goes to the pig. And pigs are dramatically smarter than most people give them credit for. Pigs recognize themselves in mirrors, understand basic reflection, and can even use the mirror to find hidden food behind them. That's a cognitive milestone most animals fail. They've been taught to play simple video games with joysticks, moving a cursor to hit on-screen targets for a reward. Pigs playing video games. Studies suggest pigs have the intelligence of a 3-year-old human child with strong memories and clear emotional lives. They remember faces, routines, and grudges. They communicate with over 20 different vocalizations, each with distinct meanings, from greetings to warnings to complaints. If pigs had thumbs, we would be in serious trouble. At number 5, we have the octopus, and this one bends the rules of intelligence entirely. Octopuses have no bones, no central command, and 2/3 of their neurons live in their arms. Each arm can essentially think for itself. They open jars, escape tanks by memorizing lab layouts, and use coconut shells as portable armor. That's tool use in an invertebrate. In one famous case, an octopus named Inky slipped out of his tank at night, crossed the floor, and escaped down a drain pipe into the ocean. He planned that. They also change color and texture instantly, communicating and camouflaging with a skill no other animal on Earth matches. An alien-like intelligence with 8 independent minds, and we're only halfway through the list. Do you agree with these so far? Drop your own top ranking in the comments before we get to number 1. Number 4 belongs to the elephant, an animal with a brain 3 times the size of ours. Elephants recognize themselves in mirrors, mourn their dead, and gently touch the bones of relatives years after they've passed. They remember migration routes across hundreds of miles, guided by matriarchs who carry decades of survival knowledge in their memory. That memory literally saves the herd. They've been observed painting, using tools like branches to swat flies, and even collaborating to solve puzzles that require 2 elephants pulling ropes together at the same time. Elephants also comfort distressed herdmates with touches and specific vocalizations. Behavior scientists classify as genuine empathy. Wisdom, memory, grief. This is intelligence with emotional weight behind it. But the next one talks. Sort of. At number 3, we have the dolphin, and dolphins may have the most sophisticated communication system in the animal world. Each dolphin has a unique signature whistle, essentially a name that other dolphins use to address them specifically. That's not just calls, that's identity. They pass the Moira test, use sponges as nose guards while foraging, and cooperate with human fishermen in some parts of the world using coordinated signals. Dolphins teach hunting techniques across generations, showing culture, behavior passed down socially rather than genetically. Different pods have different traditions. Their brains, relative to body size, come alarmingly close to ours with a thick, folded cortex built for complex thought. They also prank each other, and appear to experience something we would recognize as joy. Before we get to number 1, this next animal comes shockingly close to us. Number 2 goes to the chimpanzee, our closest living relative, and a mirror we don't always like looking into. Chimpanzees share around 98% of our DNA, and it shows in almost everything they do, from politics to warfare to grief. They craft spears to hunt smaller primates, use stones as hammers to crack nuts, and pass these tool techniques down through generations. Culture, taught deliberately. One chimp, Kanzi, learned to communicate with humans using over 300 symbols and understood spoken English at the level of a young child. Chimps plan ahead, deceive rivals, form political alliances, and remember favors. Behaviors that read like a documentary about The Office. They also perform simple math, beat humans at short-term memory tests, and demonstrate a clear sense of fairness. The gap between chimps and us is smaller than the gap between chimps and everything below them. And yet number 1 is somehow smarter still. At number 1, we have humans. Yes, us, and the ranking isn't a joke because nothing else on Earth comes close. We build cities, split atoms, write symphonies, and send machines to other planets, all with the same brain that started out worrying about lions. We're the only species that has decoded our own genetic code, mapped the ocean floor, and created language that lets ideas outlive their thinkers by thousands of years. Every other animal on this list is brilliant within its niche, but only humans reshape the planet on purpose, for better and for worse. The uncomfortable truth is that our intelligence is defined by everything on this list combined. Memory, empathy, tool use, communication, planning, just cranked to an extreme. And that might be the most surprising thing of all. Number 1 isn't a different kind of intelligence. It's a louder version of the same one. Quick recap. Number 3, dolphins with their names and cultures. Number 2, chimps with tools, politics, and language. And number 1, humans, the animal that ranked this list in the first place. Do you agree with number 1, or does it feel like cheating? Tell me your real top pick in the comments. I'd read them. If this ranking pulled you in, the next one goes even deeper. The strongest bite forces on Earth, ranked from painful to bone-shattering. And if you want more rankings like this, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. A new ranking drops every week, and next time we're settling an even bigger debate. The smartest thing you can do right now? Stay curious. This ranking is based on general research and is meant to inform and entertain for educational and entertainment purposes only.